Have you ever wondered if you're investing your time and energy in the right people? Sometimes, a relationship that seemed promising at the beginning can turn into an anchor that hinders your growth and well-being. It might be hard to accept, but maintaining certain connections can be more harmful than being alone. What if I told you that there are clear signs indicating it might be time to take a step back, even if it means distancing yourself from someone close, like a longtime friend or even a family member? It might sound drastic, but the truth is, to live a fulfilling and satisfying life, it's essential to surround yourself with people who lift you up, not drag you down. In this video, we're going to explore 11 revealing signs that a relationship might be doing more harm than good. And this isn't just about romantic relationships. Friendships and even family ties can be toxic. Stoic wisdom teaches us to be selective about who we allow into our inner circle because our companions directly influence our peace of mind and personal growth. If you feel constantly stressed, anxious, or questioning yourself, it might be time to reevaluate some of these connections. Be prepared to face uncomfortable truths and make tough decisions. But remember, what's at stake is your well-being. Now, you might be thinking, but how do I know if it's really time to end a relationship? The answer isn't simple, but it's crucial. In this video, we'll show you not only how to identify these signs, but also how to take steps to protect your emotional and mental health. Get ready for a journey of self-discovery that could transform your life and free you from harmful patterns. Stick with us until the end, and you'll find the clarity and strength you need to make significant changes in your life. Because, in the end, you deserve to be surrounded by relationships that inspire you and contribute to your growth. Let's discover together if it's time to say goodbye. When we talk about relationships, it's essential to recognize the signs that something isn't right. Many people ignore these signs, believing that everything will get better over time. But if we look closely, we can see small details showing that this relationship might be holding us back from growing. The key is to observe how you feel after each interaction. If you feel drained or constantly doubting your self-worth, it might be time to reassess this connection. After all, every relationship should help us grow, not hold us back. Imagine being in a relationship where you feel more fear than joy, where every conversation turns into a battle, and you find yourself walking on eggshells to avoid conflicts. This is a clear sign that the relationship may be harming your well-being. It's not about seeking perfection, but finding harmony that allows both parties to flourish. Think of the Stoics, who valued a healthy inner circle for a prosperous life. If a relationship does not contribute to your inner peace, it's worth considering whether it truly deserves a place in your life. Remember, recognizing these signs is not an act of weakness, but of strength. It's like understanding that you deserve to be in a relationship that motivates you to be your best self. It can be hard to accept that something needs to change, especially when there is an emotional attachment. But for your personal growth, it's crucial to identify when a relationship has ceased to be fertile ground for your evolution and has become barren terrain. Here's a practical tip. Keep a journal of your emotions after each interaction. This will help you see patterns and make more conscious decisions. The next step? Understanding how to apply Stoic wisdom in choosing relationships that elevate your life. The Stoics teach us that a relationship should be a source of upliftment and inspiration, not an anchor that pulls us down. Stoic philosophy values cultivating meaningful connections, those that genuinely add value to our lives. When you choose to surround yourself with people who propel you forward, your life becomes a journey of constant evolution. The idea isn't to cut ties with indifference, but to make conscious choices about who you want by your side, intentionally and purposefully. Think of a relationship like a garden. For it to flourish, you need to choose carefully what to plant and know when it's time to prune what isn't growing as it should. If you surround yourself with people who demotivate you, make you question your worth, or even drain your energy, this garden begins to wither. The Stoics believe that the quality of our inner circle is vital for a full and prosperous life. Therefore, it is essential to curate our connections in a way that reflects who we want to become. Often, maintaining a harmful relationship comes from the fear of being alone or what others might think. But Stoicism reminds us that our peace of mind and personal growth should come first. It's about valuing yourself enough to say, "I deserve better than this." Every person who comes into our lives should be an addition, not a subtraction. If someone is constantly bringing you negativity or demotivation, it might be time to reconsider that connection. This doesn't mean we should cut all relationships at the first sign of trouble. Relationships are complex and require work and patience. But it's also true that sometimes the effort to maintain a relationship isn't worth the cost to our inner peace. Imagine being in a relationship where you constantly feel like you're carrying the weight of the world. Instead, seek relationships where you feel like you have a true partner by your side, someone who shares the same desire to grow and evolve. The Stoics were not in favor of total isolation, but rather careful introspection about the people we choose to keep in our lives. They believed in the importance of nurturing bonds that contribute to our personal development. This means we need to regularly take stock of our relationships and be willing to make tough but necessary changes. A practical example? When you feel that a friendship is becoming toxic, try to communicate your concerns openly and honestly, but also be prepared to step back if things don't improve. A good exercise to assess the health of your relationships is to reflect on how you feel after spending time with someone. Do you feel energized and inspired, or drained and stressed? The Stoics would say that we should seek those who nourish our soul and help us become the best version of ourselves. To cultivate a rich and satisfying life, we must be selective about who we choose to accompany us on this journey. Ultimately, the Stoic wisdom on relationships teaches us to be curators of our own social life. It's about making conscious choices that resonate with our deepest values and propel us toward our maximum potential. It's about recognizing that not everyone deserves a place in our inner circle, and that sometimes the best gift we can give ourselves is the freedom to choose our companions wisely. And in making these decisions, we are creating space for new and healthier connections to flourish. Often, in a relationship, it's easy to overlook the subtle signs of manipulation and control that accumulate over time. These signs are often like small silent alarms signaling that something is wrong. A partner who puts you down in public, constantly criticizes your choices, or makes you feel like your opinions don't matter is displaying toxic behavior. Recognizing these signs is crucial for protecting your emotional and mental health. The Stoics teach us that it is essential to maintain a vigilant guard over the influences around us to ensure our inner peace is not compromised. Imagine being in a relationship where you always feel like you're walking through a minefield, where every word you say could trigger a negative reaction. This is a clear indication that the dynamic between you and the other person is not healthy. When communication turns into manipulation and conversations become monologues, it's a sign that mutual respect may be lacking. A lack of reciprocity and a power imbalance are classic signs that the relationship may be negatively affecting your well-being. The Stoics believed in the importance of maintaining a balanced mind and a serene disposition, which becomes impossible when we are surrounded by toxic relationships. Stoic philosophy teaches that we should distance ourselves from anything that disturbs our inner peace. This includes identifying and distancing ourselves from people who, intentionally or not, harm us. Sometimes the most stoic thing you can do is put yourself first and protect what is most precious: your serenity. A practical example of identifying harmful dynamics is to observe how you feel after interactions with that person. If you leave each encounter feeling drained, emotionally exhausted, or with your self-esteem shaken, it's a clear sign that something needs to change. Maybe the person is using subtle manipulation techniques to undermine your confidence, or there is a fundamental lack of respect. In either case, the most important thing is to recognize that you deserve to be in a relationship where you feel valued and respected. Identifying these dynamics also requires honest self-reflection. Sometimes, we might find ourselves stuck in patterns that keep us in cycles of toxicity because we fear change or are accustomed to a certain way of being treated. The Stoics teach us that self-knowledge is key to breaking these cycles. By understanding our own triggers and reactions, we can start to see clearly what is acceptable to us and what is not. To change this harmful dynamic, it's essential to communicate your feelings openly and honestly. Often, the other person may not even realize the impact of their actions, and a frank conversation can be the first step towards change. However, if manipulation and lack of respect persist, it may be necessary to make the tough decision to walk away. And this is not a sign of weakness, but rather a demonstration of strength and self-worth. according to Stoic teachings. Finally, remember that a healthy relationship is one where both parties feel they can grow and evolve together. If you constantly feel pushed down or that your needs are ignored, this is a sign that the relationship may be out of balance. Mutual respect and reciprocity are fundamental for any relationship that aims to last and thrive. Identifying harmful dynamics is the first step toward building healthier and more fulfilling relationships. By keeping a keen eye and a clear mind, you can protect your emotional and mental space, ensuring that only those who truly deserve to be a part of your life are included. And when that happens, you open the door to relationships that truly uplift and inspire you. Let's then explore what it means to achieve true freedom within a relationship. Within any relationship, true empowerment arises when both individuals maintain their autonomy. The Stoics believed that true freedom lies in being able to control your own actions and decisions without feeling manipulated or restricted. In a healthy relationship, each person should feel free to be who they truly are, without fear of judgment or control. It is this freedom that allows the relationship to flourish, based on mutual trust and respect. Imagine a partnership where both people have the freedom to pursue their interests, chase their dreams, and express their opinions without fear of reprisal. This is the ideal of a truly autonomous relationship. Autonomy does not mean living in emotional isolation, but rather creating a space where each person can be independent within the relationship, contributing to mutual growth. It's a delicate balance, but essential for a genuine and lasting connection. Often, the fear of losing the other can lead to control and manipulation, masked as concern or love. However, a relationship based on control can never be truly healthy. Stoicism reminds us that true control begins within ourselves. We cannot control others, but we can control how we react and how we position ourselves concerning them. Maintaining your autonomy is an act of self-love and respect for the other's freedom. For those who find themselves in relationships where they feel their freedom is being curtailed, the Stoics suggest the practice of reflection and self-evaluation. Ask yourself, am I being true to myself? And is my voice being heard? If the answer is no, it might be time to reassess the dynamics of the relationship. Personal empowerment comes from recognizing your dignity and refusing to accept less than you deserve. In some cases, restoring autonomy in a relationship may require clear and honest communication. Expressing your needs and desires assertively but respectfully is essential. And, of course, listening to the other side is also crucial. Maybe the partner doesn't even realize that their actions are perceived as controlling. An open conversation can lead to greater understanding and allow for adjustments that benefit both. Another practical way to cultivate autonomy is to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not walls that separate, but rather fences that protect what is most valuable to you. It's important to know where your needs begin and end, and where you are willing to compromise. Setting these boundaries from the start helps maintain clarity and respect within the relationship. Remember that autonomy within a relationship does not mean the absence of commitment, but rather the presence of a balanced commitment where both feel they can be fully themselves. It is in this space that true love and respect flourish, where each person can grow, not just as a couple, but as whole individuals. The journey toward autonomy is ongoing and requires effort from both parties, but the reward is a relationship that fosters freedom and mutual growth. When we achieve this balance between autonomy and connection, we are ready to explore the next essential aspect of a healthy relationship: reciprocity. Let's understand how balanced giving and receiving are fundamental to the longevity and health of any connection. At the heart of any healthy relationship is the concept of reciprocity. This is the delicate dance of giving and receiving, a balance that keeps the connection strong and sustainable. The Stoics teach that for a relationship to thrive, it is essential that both parties feel valued and recognized. It's not just about keeping score or demanding an exact exchange, but rather a natural flow of mutual support. When the balance of reciprocity is respected, the bond between people becomes even deeper and more meaningful. Imagine a relationship where one partner always gives and the other always receives. Eventually, the giver will feel exhausted, and the receiver may start to take the other's contributions for granted. This kind of imbalance can lead to hidden resentments and emotional exhaustion. Therefore, it is crucial to cultivate a relationship where both partners feel encouraged to contribute and receive equally. This strengthens the bond and creates an environment of mutual support and understanding. The Stoics suggest that to achieve this balance, it is important to be mindful of your actions and intentions. Ask yourself, am I contributing fairly in this relationship? Or am I properly acknowledging what the other does for me? Keeping this active reflection helps ensure that you are not inadvertently creating an environment of imbalance. Reciprocity is not just about what is given, but also about the gratitude and recognition of what is received. Practically speaking, think of ways to regularly show appreciation. Small gestures, like a simple thank you or an unexpected act of kindness, can mean a lot. Reciprocity is built into the details of daily life, in the small actions that demonstrate care and consideration. By making a conscious effort to balance these actions, the relationship becomes stronger and more resilient to external tensions. It is also vital to remember that reciprocity should not be forced or artificial. It should naturally arise from the desire to see the other person happy and satisfied. When reciprocity is genuine, both partners feel more connected and secure in their relationship. However, if a relationship becomes a series of obligations and expectations, the bond may begin to wear thin. The healthy balance of reciprocity lies in being generous without expecting something in return, but with the trust that your partner will do the same. In cases where balance seems difficult to achieve, an open conversation may be necessary. Talking about expectations and feelings can help realign perspectives and allow both partners to better understand each other's needs. Often, the lack of reciprocity is not intentional, but rather the result of misunderstandings or different modes of expression. Clear and honest communication can restore the necessary balance for a healthy relationship. Finally, reciprocity in a relationship is not just about giving and receiving, but also about growing together. Both partners should feel encouraged to develop and reach their fullest potential. When this balance is achieved, the relationship becomes a constant source of inspiration and support. The key is to maintain the flow of reciprocity, recognizing that every act of generosity and gratitude strengthens the bond you share. Now that we understand the importance of reciprocity, it's time to consider the moments when a relationship may not be healthy, regardless of both parties' efforts. Let's explore when it's necessary to make the difficult decision to end a connection that no longer brings peace and growth. Sometimes, the hardest and most necessary decision in a relationship is to recognize when it has become toxic and have the courage to end it. The Stoics teach us that true wisdom comes from knowing when something or someone is causing more harm than good in our lives. It is crucial to understand that maintaining a relationship that constantly generates stress, anxiety, or pain can be a hindrance to our growth and well-being. This realization is not about giving up, but about protecting yourself and preserving your dignity. In a toxic relationship, you often feel constantly drained, undervalued, and emotionally exhausted. Signs like constant criticism, emotional manipulation, excessive jealousy, or lack of respect are clear indicators that the dynamic has become harmful. Recognizing these signs can be painful, especially when there is an emotional attachment or shared history. However, the Stoics remind us that our priority should always be our inner peace and personal development. Ending a toxic relationship requires courage and self-compassion. It is not a decision to be taken lightly, but with a clear understanding that you deserve to be in relationships that nourish your soul rather than erode it. The Stoics suggest that by distancing ourselves from relationships that cause us suffering, we practice self-mastery and self-acceptance. We affirm that our happiness and well-being are not for sale, and that we prefer healthy solitude over harmful companionship. For those who find themselves stuck in a toxic relationship, the first step is to seek support. Talking to trusted friends, family members, or even professionals can provide the perspective needed to see the situation more clearly. It may also be helpful to list the reasons why you feel unhappy in the relationship and the negative impacts it is having on your life. This type of self-analysis can strengthen your resolve to move forward. Another crucial aspect to consider when ending a toxic relationship is recognizing that you are not responsible for the other person's behavior. Often, the fear of hurting feelings or feelings of guilt can keep us trapped in harmful relationships. However, Stoics remind us that each individual is responsible for their own actions and choices. Staying in a toxic relationship out of fear or guilt is a disservice to yourself and a violation of your own dignity and values. In some cases, ending a relationship can be an opportunity to redefine who you are and what you want out of life. Many people find new strengths, passions, and perspectives when they free themselves from harmful connections. It's a chance to reconnect with yourself and your values, free from the negative influences that once clouded your vision. Freedom from a toxic relationship can be the catalyst for personal rebirth, where you consciously choose the energies you want to keep around you. Finally, ending a toxic relationship is not a sign of weakness, but of strength and self-respect. It is an action that requires courage, clarity, and a deep understanding of what you deserve in life. By making this decision, you are prioritizing your well-being and making room for relationships that truly deserve your time and energy. In doing so, you begin to build a future where every relationship is a source of support, inspiration, and mutual growth. Now that we've explored how to identify and end toxic relationships, let's dive into the specific signs that may indicate it's time to make this courageous choice. What are the 11 signs that suggest it might be time to end a relationship? Recognizing the signs that a relationship needs to end is an act of self-care and wisdom. Often, these signs are present from the beginning, but we ignore them, hoping things will improve. Stoicism teaches us the importance of paying attention to these signs to protect our peace of mind and promote our personal growth. Identifying these 11 signs can be the first step toward leaving a situation that is preventing us from thriving. Continual lack of respect. One of the clearest signs that a relationship is unhealthy is a lack of mutual respect. When your opinions, feelings, and needs are constantly ignored or belittled, this indicates that the essential respect for any relationship is missing. Without respect, it is impossible to build a solid foundation for any meaningful connection. Emotional manipulation. If you feel that you are constantly being manipulated to feel guilty or responsible for the other person's emotions, this is a red flag. Emotional manipulation can be a powerful tool to control and keep someone in a harmful relationship. Remember, a healthy relationship should be based on transparency and honesty, not manipulation and mind games. Social isolation. If you notice that you are being isolated from friends, family, or other support sources, this is a sign that the relationship may be becoming toxic. A controlling partner may try to limit your access to others to increase your emotional dependence. This is a common tactic in abusive relationships and should be taken very seriously. Destructive criticism. Constant criticism that is destructive and humiliating is a sign that the relationship is unhealthy. We all make mistakes, but in a healthy relationship, these mistakes are addressed with compassion and the goal of improvement, not to diminish the other person. If the criticism is constant and intended to hurt, it is time to reconsider this relationship. Excessive jealousy and control. A moderate level of jealousy may be normal in any relationship, but when it becomes excessive and leads to controlling behaviors, this is a major red flag. A partner who constantly monitors your movements, interactions, and choices is displaying controlling behavior that is harmful and dangerous. Denial of responsibility. When a person constantly denies responsibility for their own behaviors or mistakes and always blames others, this is a sign of a toxic relationship. A healthy relationship requires both parties to take responsibility for their actions and work together to improve and grow. Lack of emotional support. A relationship should be a space of emotional support, where both partners feel safe to express their emotions and vulnerabilities. If you feel that your partner does not provide this support or, worse yet, ridicules or diminishes your emotions, this is a clear sign that the relationship may not be healthy. Invasion of privacy. Everyone deserves a certain degree of privacy, even in an intimate relationship. If you feel that your partner is constantly invading your privacy, reading your messages, checking your call history, or trying to control who you see and what you do, this is invasive and toxic behavior. Threats and intimidation. Any form of threat or intimidation, whether physical, emotional, or psychological, is a clear sign of an abusive relationship. No form of violence or threat should be tolerated in a relationship. If you are facing this, it is essential to seek help and consider leaving this environment. Lack of commitment. If a partner consistently fails to meet commitments, whether of time, support, or even fidelity, this is a sign that they are not invested in the relationship in a healthy way. Commitment and consistency are fundamental pillars of any lasting relationship. Loss of identity. Finally, if you feel that you have lost your identity or are constantly sacrificing your own needs and desires to satisfy your partner, this is a serious sign that the relationship is becoming harmful. Everyone deserves to be in a relationship where they can be themselves and feel valued. Identifying these signs can be the first step toward freeing yourself from a relationship that no longer contributes to your well-being. By recognizing these signs, you prepare yourself to make decisions that protect your peace and promote your growth. Let's now explore how to apply Stoic wisdom to overcome the challenges of ending a toxic relationship and move towards a healthier future. When it comes to understanding the depth and complexity of a relationship, it's essential to take time to discuss and reflect on the various aspects that comprise it. In this video, almost 45 minutes are dedicated to exploring Stoic wisdom and its application to modern relationships, which indicates a thorough and comprehensive examination of the subject. Stoic philosophy offers a detailed look at how we can cultivate healthier and more meaningful connections, and such an extensive video allows each nuance to be addressed with the proper attention. The time dedicated to discussion isn't just a number. It reflects the complexity of relationships and the need for careful analysis. When we invest time in understanding power dynamics, behavior patterns, and warning signs in a relationship, we're actually investing in our own well-being and growth. This video serves as a reminder that it's important to take time for these reflections, even when the world around us seems to demand quick answers and impulsive actions. By dedicating 45 minutes to exploring these concepts, the video is not just informing but also encouraging deep and personal reflection. It invites viewers to ask themselves, how much time am I dedicating to understanding my own relationships? And am I truly paying attention to the signs and messages I receive from those around me? The Stoics teach us that introspection and self-reflection are fundamental to wisdom, and this video is a tool to start that process. Additionally, a video of almost 45 minutes also indicates the depth with which the topics are covered. It's not just a superficial overview but a comprehensive exploration of Stoic concepts applied to relationships. This allows viewers not only to understand the philosophical principles but also to see how to apply them in real-life situations. For example, how to use Stoic wisdom to identify when a relationship is becoming toxic and how to take the necessary steps to protect your well-being. This kind of extensive discussion also provides space for different viewpoints to be considered and for the nuances of each situation to be explored. Relationships are complex and multifaceted, and there is rarely a one-size-fits-all solution to every problem. A 45-minute video allows the viewer to see how Stoic philosophy can be adapted to different scenarios and challenges, offering a more flexible and personalized approach to cultivating healthy connections. Dedicating so much time to a discussion about relationships reflects how essential they are to our life and happiness. The Stoics believe that the quality of our interpersonal connections has a direct impact on our tranquility and peace of mind. Therefore, investing time to understand and improve these relationships is, in fact, investing in our own long-term well-being and happiness. Now that you've learned about the 11 signs that a relationship might be doing more harm than good, it's time to reflect on your own connections. How many of these signs do you recognize in your own experiences? And more importantly, what are you going to do about it? Life is too short to be spent in relationships that drain us and prevent us from reaching our true potential. It's time to ask yourself, are you ready to make the necessary changes to protect your peace of mind and promote your personal growth? Deciding to end a toxic relationship isn't easy, but it's an act of courage and self-worth. Think about it. You deserve to be surrounded by people who support you, inspire you, and help you become the best version of yourself. So, don't be afraid to take the first step. Be honest with yourself and others, and remember that every decision you make regarding your relationship should be guided by the desire to live a fuller and more authentic life. Now, I want to challenge you. What will be the first change you make after watching this video? It may be difficult, but taking action is essential. Share in the comments which sign resonated most with you and how you plan to address that situation in your life. Let's create a supportive community where we can learn from each other and grow together. And don't forget, If you want to keep learning about how to build healthier and more meaningful relationships, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We have many more videos planned to help you on this journey of self-discovery and growth. We're here to support you every step of the way. Let's transform our lives together, one brave decision at a time.